We got the Dethridge. Oh yeah, look at that. I ain't done no lives down the road for a minute. Some people, OG people, no. The back window is not knocked out. That is not what has occurred. The reality is a damn Florida. Think about this: a Florida highway patrol officer said my tent was too dark, so he made me rip out a piece so he could see the driver. And that's what saved me getting a ticket in Florida. That was like in 2019. But no, that's just the tent rip. That is not a broken windshield. Regardless, we are driving down the road. We are just into Tennessee. We drove as much as we could yesterday. Just into Tennessee, about to be in the Clarksville, heading on down. Nashville is close. Nashville is near. But there is a situation that happened last night at Volusia. People get just catching fire left and right. I don't know what's up with that, why everybody just keeps catching fire. How long you been on the road? Well, last night we were on the road until probably midnight. Got on the road like 2:33, so a decent amount of travel time on the road yesterday. But got up, kind of took advantage of the hotel, took the shower and all that. It was a cheap hotel, $45. So I mean, you couldn't pass that up. A Super 8, of course, yes, the Super 8s. They are always there when you need them. But last night was amazing. I was telling y'all, you got to be prepared. Damn, the double chin. That's another reason we're getting out. Put on a few pounds and all that. Look at that double chin. This wasn't last time we were doing this on the Often. This wasn't the case. Look how pale we are. I can't even tell my tan lines anymore. This is disgusting. I've been stuck in the frozen tundra. Sean, he has to go to work, just like we're going to work right now. But regardless, Sean, he lives in Knoxville. He just can't, take off and run around the country. We got that opportunity, so I mean, we should be doing it more, being caught up with a woman and all that, getting distracted by the things of life. But we're heading down the road. We didn't sleep in the. That's a win. But we did use financing to get it done, so we do multiple times. Links are in the description. If you want to join the support, PayPal, Venmo, and other avenues to join the support. Speaking of joining the support, not only has Dethridge jumped on board here recently, mentioned the Chaz at Dethridge Opticians, the same glasses that Shots and Davenport and all these guys use. But, and by the way, I can see the tips of the tops of the trees. Without them, it's like, which tree are you talking about? Double vision, you know what I'm saying? But, we will say, we had an additional supporter jump on it. I can't believe I am saying this. It did happen after our confrontation at the Chili Bowl. Kyle Larson has jumped on as a supporter. So shop Kyle, or KR, I don't know what, y'all know his website. No, I'm just kidding. Fuck Kyle. The guy who jumped on board was Velocity USA. Yes, the guy who spread the Eldora rumor, at least to y'all. He says he didn't. He says it was a question. Go look at the video. It's on the channel. The Chaz, Bad Brad Velocity. We go over safety, fire safety issue, his new suits that are out, opinions on Inferno Armor. I know a lot of people are fans of Inferno Armor. He has a few opinions that are not so grand of that type of usage. But it's a good talk show. Me and Velocity, Bad Brad from Velocity USA. It is velocity-usa.com to potentially purchase your next fire safety equipment for you and your race team. So Velocity USA has jumped on board to the support here on the Chaz. So Dethridge, Velocity USA, we had Clyde Knipp and Emerson Axum on the show the other day. Of course, Prime Composite Innovations, the carbon fiber and everything like that. Y'all go, if you got anything, if you need something made carbon fiber, he's probably about to make me an iPhone or a phone case. We were talking about that the other night. But Prime Composite Innovations, all those things, check those things out. But Velocity USA jumping on board. And speaking of that, Emerson Axe and everything almost breaks the track record last night. Track record is a 14.160 by Brenham Crouch. That definitely needs to be broken. He turned a 14.165, so 5 thousandths of a second off of the track champion, or off of the track record at Volusia. All-Tech, you had a situation where Devin Moran, if this guy doesn't have bad luck, he wouldn't have bad luck at all, and he probably would be the champion. I think personally, I'm a big RTJ fan. I like RTJ a lot, but I do feel like over the last few years, Devin Moran's been one of the fastest cars week in and week out in dirt late model racing. He just has this go wrong or that go wrong, or once again, luck, just bad luck in general. So I don't understand that, but he has a flat. A tire starts to go down, 2 to go. RTJ takes the win. RTJ obviously had to be in second to capitalize on that. So once again, it's hard to beat RTJ. If you have a tire go down, you're pretty much screwed. But RTJ wins at All-Tech, and Justin Peck ends up winning the 360 race. The highly competitive 360 race, 50-plus cars. Like I said to y'all, it was going to happen. It was going to happen. This 360 race at Volusia is potentially going to become... honestly, if you think about all of the 360 racing that happens, the 360 race here at Volusia could potentially become the biggest 360 race in the country here in the next 3 to 4 years if they continuously build it and make it grander. The only big problem with the 360 race last night was the numbers on the paycheck. I was going to say Randy Ward's announcing, but I think he did amazing. I think it was great. That's not a problem. I'm just giving him some credit. I need to give credit before I get into... I'm talking about what's good before we get into what's wrong, because we got some things that are wrong with what happened at Volusia last night. Things that were right, Emerson Axum. Things that were right, car count. Things that were right, the B-Main racing surface. The B-Main racing surface. I said that twice for a reason. And another thing that was right was Randy Ward's announcing. Things that were wrong. Let's get the racetrack out of the way. They're doing what they can. They're trying to project. They're trying to guess. They didn't want to just roll the A-Main onto the track after the B-Main. And the modifieds just were worried about taking rubber. That's fine. That's understandable. It was a shitty-ish track, though. Most people would agree. But the number one issue with what happened at Volusia last night was the payout. $3,000, ladies and gentlemen. Let me repeat that. $3,000 to win that race at Volusia last night. 3. Not 3,000 to start like the XR late model races or their 100Ks or whatever. 3,000 to win that race last night. 3. Now, if I had $3,000, I'd feel like a rich man, but that's beside the point. Links in the description and join the support. $3,000. So, a good 360 motor that is capable of against good 65 for years, but that's California motor rules kind of. But it's about 60, maybe. Let's say low, nice used motor. Let's say 50. And we're talking about routine racing, okay? This is not a small operation. They probably got 40 or 45 in the motor to be able to compete well. I'm saying to win the damn race, you're out there with just about as much money as you have in a 410 due to the size of that racetrack. You got to have every dollar amount you need in that car. So, we got to figure out why that is and why it's okay to pay $3,000. Now, here's the justification in that. The justification in that, and I don't think this necessarily applies to this event because the World Racing Group does a decent job, is there ain't no fucking fans there. Okay, so this is why I keep relating, especially to you local racers and local race tracks and promoters and all that. You know, if these grandstands were full, you wouldn't have to sit back and say, you know, where can I get my $3,000? People in today's world are trying to say streaming, and you may have an argument for that. There was potentially a very large audience in streaming last night for streaming revenue. So maybe that's where you should have got more money to pay more than $3,000. But due to the image or the perspective of what sprint car racing is, you know, where NASCAR is the Cup Series NFL and flag football, ASCS 360 racing is like a step below the flag football. It's like the Bush League for the flag football. They're not even good enough to play flag. It's like the YMCA and the World Outlaws is kind of like the 7-on-7 flag football national tour. You know, so it's the YMCA flag football players. And a few of the good guys from the 7-on-7 came and played with them, like Peck and others. But this is why who's gonna go fucking? There's about as many people in the stands last night that would show up for a YMCA flag football competition. And that's why you're only getting paid $3,000. Now you could go up more. You know, the streaming, that's where all the money's going to be coming from. But when you look at those grandstands, that's usually where the money is located and needed to pay more than $3,000. So that would be the defense. They don't have people in the grandstands to be able to suffice upping the payout because there's a lot of money going out. You know, kind of. Even though the winner last night, Justin Peck, with his $100,000-ish race car on the track and potential $1 million operation, risked his life for $3,000. That's just one of the most dangerous race cars, doing the most amazing things, but nobody wants to go out there and say that. $3,000. I mean, I think at least Alltech was 5 or 7 or something, right? 5 or 7. It's 25 come Saturday. What is Saturday's payout? Like, I don't understand. What is this Don Stack saying? Local news is being called. He's trying to say that you're mad that I'm living down the highway. I mean, my eyes are pretty steady here. I'm not real. I looked over to see your comment, but regardless, we do lives forever. Anyway, call them. That's fine. But at the end of the day, $3,000. I just don't understand it. It kind of makes no sense to me. But this is a car owner deal. As long as the owners keep funding it and saying it's okay, it's okay. But then it's also a sport issue. That's where I come in. I say it's a sport issue. If you had the proper respect, if it wasn't viewed as YMCA flag football, if it was viewed as an elite sport, then you wouldn't have any problems getting people to show up and pay to watch it because it's viewed respectably, you know. Anyways, that's the issues with Volusia. Issues with Alltech, there is none. Late model racing, their fan base don't care if a NASCAR driver's there to show up and watch. And people come out, they watch the races, they're superstars. Their culture in the late model world is not as mentally deranged as the ones here. So it's very interesting how that actually worked out for the late model industry. Although their crowd was kind of eh. It is Florida Speed Week, so who knows what's going to happen. Do you think there should be white and black divisions? Wow, racism to the nth degree in the comment section. That is kind of interesting how you labeled that. I'm thinking maybe you mean something else, but how that comes across doesn't necessarily seem right. But at the end of the day, all these things I'm talking about kind of have me thinking, like, we're going down to Florida. We're kind of late to get there tonight. We could rush it and get there Saturday. But speaking of black and white divisions, there is this other thing happening along the way in this trip that I didn't know was happening at all, period. And then somebody messaged me about it, and I was like, wait, really? That's actually happening. I can't believe it. There is a big historic race happening half the distance from where I'm at right now than Florida. It's kind of on the way at Bowman Gray Stadium, a place I've never been, where you're going to have two local superstars in Brown and Myers, racing against these so-called elitists of the racing industry in NASCAR. So, this has added a big blind spotted hit out of the way. Do we go to, obviously it's Saturday, Sunday, so we'd miss the dirt racing, although we got Flow and Dirt Vision. That's all they care about. That's why they're worried about selling subscriptions instead of people in the stands and pay $3,000 and hope nobody notices. But at the end of the day, I checked tickets. They're relatively affordable-ish. Do we call an audible on the way down and go to Bowman Gray Stadium for the return of the NASCAR Cup Series? Do we do this, guys? I'm thinking it's possible. I need comments. I need some rebuttal here. I know it's like, calling the kettle black or something. Back to his black and white comment. But this is history being made. It is a real racetrack. It is kind of one of those must-see venues. You got to go to Bowman Gray. I've heard it forever from the asphalt industry. I mean, I'm going to miss out on Alltech and Volusia 360s. I mean, yeah. But Bowman Gray, NASCAR Cup, little local guys going up against the Cup Series drivers. Two premium drivers. I believe it's Tim Brown and Burt Myers are going to be running. The local modified aces there are going to be going to Bowman Gray. I mean, I've already got a few people trying to get me to go there. No, don't go. Keep trucking to Florida where racist people race in circles. I guess, based on that guy's comment. They get rowdy at Bowman Gray. There you go. Sean don't want us to go. See, Sean's back at home. He don't want me to go. He might be. I think Sean's jealous, guys. I think Sean would be jealous if I go to this event because he knows I hate NASCAR. He's a big NASCAR fan. Kyle's going to be there. Everything. He's just jealous. He's telling me no because he's jealous. That's why he's saying no. But although he gets to go to sleep with Connie tonight and I get to touch myself, so he's winning in life overall. But they do get rowdy at Bowman Gray. Dirt Slinger says it's historic. Go. Guys, I need some help on this one. I mean, I know the dirt crowd is going to hate me forever if I go to Bowman Gray, though. You know, a bunch of Seans out there. Bunch of Seans. I don't know. Although it is starting to warm up, I do have the windows up so y'all can hear me. But the AC in the car has not worked. So, I mean, it is starting to get a little hotter, which this is great. This is what... hold on. We got a message held for review. You got me up, Chad. I don't know who you are. How many other times will you go to Bowman Gray? I don't ever plan on going to Bowman Gray. I understand why there is mods for a reason to time out the bad people and keep the chat clean. But yeah, I'm totally going to be scared of a Blue Wrench username. Totally not. I don't understand it anyway. I'd rather watch a rubbered down Alltech. Oh my God. How do you know this? It is Bowman Gray. Although I will say this, every time I have gotten hyped up to potentially go to an asphalt race, I've been let down every time. I mean, the only track that was decent was Iowa. That was okay. But I honestly felt like that wasn't even the racing. It was because Kyle was driving through the field. Once Kyle fell out, nobody was really passing anyone. I mean, it was kind of boring. But yeah, every time I have gone to an asphalt event, I have been let down. It is true. But there is history there. It is Bowman Gray. It's a little quarter mile around a football field, all this stuff. I mean, it is a coin flip. I was being sarcastic, by the way. Okay, cool. But I don't know. I don't know. We got to crack the window. It's getting hot in here. But that's all right. We're sweating. We're letting the perspiration out. We're burning calories every freaking minute. So, yeah, I saw somebody earlier ask about Brian Shirley. Flow Racing did a really good piece on the Brian Shirley deal. So, if you want to know more about that, I'd say go to the Brian Shirley, or go to Flow Racing on their Facebook or something, and they'll probably be able to figure it out. I don't know. You look like you're 400 pounds, Brian says. Bin Laden says, good morning from New Zealand. Where's today's live? What's today's live about? I mean, really, we already covered it. We talked about the 3,000 to win at Volusia. Talked about Alltech. Brian being mean. Did you bring shorts and flip-flops? I did bring shorts and Hey Dudes. I don't have flip-flops, though. Actually, I might in the trunk. There's a lot of stuff from the traveling areas and times that could still be in the trunk. I'm not sure. But no, I am not 400 pounds. I used to be 450 pounds. I went down to 190 at one point, and then I stayed in the 200 area for about 4 years, and then slowly started putting it back on. Honestly, ever since I started drinking beer again. You know, I went for about 4 or 5 years not drinking one beer at all. And that's when I was at my lowest weights and working out and everything. But then once I slowly, just every now and then, have a beer, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that is when it did start packing back on. We might actually have a decent view here. Hold on. Let's see here. We do have like a river we're looking at, a big old bridge. Although it's kind of fuzzy because the sun is right in us, you know, the reflection. But I think we're going over the Mississippi. There's all kinds of shit going on out there. Look at that. Hopefully the bridge does not fall. It isn't a London bridge now, is it? But anyway, the phone's starting to overheat. We're trying to read. I don't know. Is reading illegal? I don't know. Some live mods on some lives can be acting like police officers. Oh, yeah, you're talking about like moderators. Okay. But besides that, what's your favorite type of movie to watch? I don't know about this movie to watch. Aquarius, apparently, we just moved in to another state. We just moved into another state. Oh my God. Bro, Def wears thongs, sandals. I don't know what that means. I do not know what that means. But yeah, the double chin's gonna go away. Y'all can stay along for the ride. I'll probably be in Florida about 3 weeks at least, I'll say. But yeah, hopefully by the end of that 3 weeks, this is gone. We'll get some sun, we'll get some tan, you'll be able to see my face a little better from my neck. I mean, these are all the things we hope for, at least. The Crawleys are going to be in Florida. Okay, well, that's good. That's fine. There's a lot of people who hate me. I'm used to facing people who want to get in my face and talk shit. I mean, I'm way better now at ignoring them. Before it used to get to me, but now it's like an accepted thing. Like a chili bowl. I just didn't care. So, Chaz's favorite movie is Brokeback Mountain. I don't know. I don't really like movies most of the time. To be honest. It's a waste. It's kind of a waste. I mean, I've gotten to doing video and stuff so much that it's like, why watch something instead of make something? Because I don't usually have the time to watch movies most of the time. Usually too busy doing things. I don't know. I don't know if that's a good message or a bad message. I know it's kind of sounding like, it sounds like, I guess, if you have time to make or to watch a movie, you need to like question your life a little bit. But that's not the case for most people. So, my lip is sideways due to the umbilical cord wrapped around my neck at birth. I've said this too many times, but I understand there's no reviewers. Similar to Sylvester Stallone, Gerard Butler from the movie 300. That's a movie. I used to watch movies back when I was lazy. But yeah, umbilical cord wrapped around at birth, emergency C-section, so it severed the nerves on this side of the mouth. But that's why the lip doesn't move right here. But it's not so rare, but that's the reasoning that people think I chew. But I will say I did smoke cigarettes most of my life, and then I went to the vaping, and then I was like, well, actually it was at Volusia 3 years ago. I had my vape, and it was one of those ones that blew the big vape cloud. I hit the vape, and I blew the cloud out, and it went into like a family of 5 sitting at a picnic table eating, and I was like, I feel like a piece of shit when that happened. And I walk around the corner, and there's this Zen trailer, which the Zen is those little fake dipper pouch stills. And I was like, well, the vape has taught me that I'm chemically addicted to the nicotine of the cigarette, so I'm addicted to nicotine. That's the only reason I'm hitting this vape. And I was like, if I do these pouches, maybe I'll get the same satisfaction. I won't inhale nothing into the lungs or blow anything out in people's faces or anything like that. So that, they had the Zen trailer there, and they were giving them away, so I tried it, and it worked. So ever since then, I've been doing the fake nicotine dippers, but they're just nicotine. They are pouches. You do spit. I spit them out. Some people say just swallow. No. But I think it's the best way, personally, to get the nicotine fix. Not blowing smoke in people's faces, not inhaling anything into your lungs, and just kind of stay out of everybody's way. And just, handle your own addiction without affecting others. That seems to be the best way. Ford versus Ferrari. I did actually see that movie. That was a good one. Do another interview with Dennis Guile. Well, I don't know. I don't really want to interact with that group over there because my opinions, and there's some opinions that need to be said, some opinions don't, but the Dennis Guile's put a lot of money into racing, but there's a lot of other things with Dennis Guile that's occurred. And I understand, Jordan, you're the type of guy who wants to bring all the dirt and garbage out on everybody. But there's plenty. I mean, pick your poison in racing. I mean, for you to circle Dennis Guile, who spent so much money, that's kind of messed up. There's guys who ain't did really much of anything that deserve to be talked about in a negative light. So anyway, did Bowden make the trip? No, he did not. So instead of destroying your lungs, you're destroying your gums. That is not necessarily what the nicotine pouches do. It depends on how you place them in your mouth, what you do with them. They're not the same as tobacco. They don't have fiberglass in them like tobacco chew products do. You're kind of dumb in what you just said. So horrible point. Dennis Guile did bring up some good points. I don't know if I'll go to Volusia for the 360s. We're trying to make that decision right now. Just smoke weed, Chaz. I mean, not against it, but it's been a while. Did Bowden make the trip? Bowden apparently had some kind of flu and could not make the trip. So no, Bowden will not be racing the 360s. Apparently there's some kind of flu that's just taken over to the DFW area, I guess. I hear Roto-Rooter could be Larson's main NASCAR sponsor in 26. Interesting. Speaking of weed, I don't know if a skunk died or they have like some weed crop field in the middle of nowhere, which does happen. But yeah, the aroma of weed is in the air. Probably a skunk that's died though, based on where we're at. Yeah, he said, see, there's another guy from Texas, T-Fish, T-Stout, Tyler Stout, says he's got the flu. You've got two chins. We already pointed this out. It's very disgusting and saddening. What's on your sweatshirt? It's DnF Racing Opticians. We have the DnF Oakleys on right now, the hat. We are all draped up. It is actually very, very nice to look around and see the skunk on the road. There he is right there. No, I'm just playing. But DnF Racing Opticians, mention the Chaz. Get your pair today. They do accept insurances, so you don't have to pay out of pocket to get the same kind of lenses that Davenport shots and now I got as well. Somebody says, please go to Bowman Gray. It is really on my mind. It's really on my mind to pull the trigger right now and turn towards Bowman Gray. I could make it both Saturday and Sunday, at least Sunday for sure. Christ is King. Praise the Lord. Amen. I mean, Jesus is real. I think a lot of people lack Jesus and Christ and any religion that teaches conformity to correct moral choices in life. I think you need to conform yourself. It's called discipline. But sometimes you need a religion to do it. If Jesus is the one you want to choose, I 100% support it. Have you ever interviewed Billy Moyer? Yes, we have interviewed Billy Moyer. It's on the channel. Will you interview Kenny Wallace in Florida? He'll be there for a few weeks. No, I have no need to discuss Kenny Wallace or talk about Kenny Wallace. Ever since his interview with Michael Rigsby, he's a complete liar. I do not support Kenny Wallace. And the best way to not support people is to not talk about them or give them attention. Simple as that, guys. That's how it goes. I don't support Kenny Wallace and what he stands for anymore at all. Or, well, he could stand for something good, but I just don't support Kenny Wallace, period, at all. Go to Bowman Gray. Flo did a film about it, so it's on people's minds. That is true. They did do a film about it. They did do a film about it, and it did look very heart-touching and real. We could go to Bowman Gray. It is a detour, but not much of a detour. Out of all the races this weekend, it is probably the biggest. I mean, and once again, Dirt Vision and Flo just want us to buy subscriptions. So I could go to Bowman Gray, and I could watch the dirt racing from the NASCAR race. Never been there. Do a video with Axum on track. I'm not against that at all. I think they should rename Salina to Deathbridge. That would be interesting. That would be interesting. The biggest sleeper of all time. Laugh my ass off. Who's the biggest sleeper? Kenny Wallace? Kenny Wallace, the biggest sleeper? What y'all talking about? Go to Bowman Gray. Damn it, guys. Damn it. We're going to have to go to Bowman Gray. We just passed Paducah, apparently the best dirt track in the world according to Plaque and Nip. But they can't stay open. They can't get people to the track. What happened to Taylor? I don't know where any of these female drivers who aren't as good as Paige Poliak go. Apparently, I was told Toyota will not allow J8 Avision to run a sprint car due to safety. That's what I was told. It sounds like a rumor. I don't know. Potentially could be true. But I don't know. I'm not sure about it. Chaz 2028. I did not receive any presidential votes this last go-round. The car is at 442,777 miles right now. So by the end of all this, who knows when we'll get back to Knoxville? You know, we'll get down here to Florida. Of course, the King of 360s is the same weekend as the World Outlaws at Volusia. That's my only dilemma right now. Just trying to pick which one of those to go to. King of 360s down there at Hendry County Motorsports Park. You also have Bubba for Lucas Oil late models, Volusia. And then the following week, the late models close out. And then after that, you got the Swamp Cabbage 100. That's $20,000 to win street stock race at Hendry. You got the Clash at the Coast, the IMCA racing that's happening. It's insane. If you go to Bowman Gray, be safe. Don't get beat up. That is interesting. There's so much content you could get at Bowman. There is content to get at Bowman Gray, but access is a big issue at NASCAR events. It's not like that's the one problem. It's not like you can just get a pit pass and go in the pits at Bowman Gray. Like, that doesn't happen. I mean, maybe they'll do that somehow this time, but if they do that, it'll be like an upcharge of $60 or something to enter the pits. So to get content at Bowman Gray is somewhat hard, simply because the access. You basically get a grandstand ticket and you're stuck there. Kenny Adams is the king of 360s. I don't know. It's been a while since he's raced that event, which is the event that was at East Bay that has moved to Hendry County Motorsports Park. It'll be next weekend, and they're going to be having that streamed on Done Right TV, I believe. So Done Right TV, if you search it up, that'll be the streaming service for the King of 360s at Hendry. You could get a sloppy Ricky Stenhouse right-hander. I don't know what that means. I'm not sure what that means. Kind of disgusted by what that could mean. It could mean a lot of dirty things, especially for you dirt track people. Did you see RTJ do RTJ shit last night? I don't know why that comment was hidden. We'll try to show it. The RTJ thing was Devin Moran, honestly. Devin Moran, he lost the race more than RTJ won it. I hear they have a fentanyl stand outside of turn 2 at Bowman Gray. This is potentially true. I don't know. I don't know why you would say that so disrespectfully, Knuckle. Forget NASCAR, waste of time. Feel like that more so goes back to the black and white comment from earlier. I don't know. I mean, if I do go to Bowman Gray, it would be for Bowman Gray's purposes. Yeah, it'll be cool, NASCAR's there, but it would be just to visit Bowman Gray. Now, on top of that, you do have 2 locals in Burt Myers and Tim Brown going to be getting into NASCAR vehicles and have a shot at upsetting the world. That is, and these are short track regular guys, weekly racers. So as far as the appeal of what's more attractive this weekend, is it really going and watching overpriced 360s run around for $5,000 or $10,000 or $3,000 like they did last night, by the way? Late model 25K at Alltech, there's no shit talking that. That's very respectable. But is locals in Tim Brown and Burt Myers getting into cup cars at their home track, which is so happens to be the legendary Bowman Gray Stadium? Is that might be just as worth going to. Screw NASCAR, they have bastardized everything about the Clash. Why? Y'all can bitch and bitch and bitch about the Clash should be at Daytona. Well, motherfucker, just like an ex-girlfriend who bitched and bitched and bitched all the time, y'all weren't, just like what, making a very good point here. Y'all didn't go to the fucking Clash at Daytona. Y'all didn't show up to the Budweiser shootout. The broadcast numbers were down. The fucking stands were empty. Okay? So, once again, y'all can blame NASCAR for making the change here with moving the Clash around. Or Budweiser shootout traditionally. But y'all didn't support it when it was there. You want it back now? Really? Oh, you missed what you didn't know what you had until you lost it? Back to the relationship point. A lot of people get rid of some shit. Then when it's gone, they beg and beg for it to come back. And then once it comes back, if they took the Clash back to Daytona, you'd cheer for 1 year, and then you'd fucking get rid of it again. Dirt at Bristol. Oh my God, this is so great. Year 2, nobody gave a fuck. So, y'all are the reason. Y'all are the reason that NASCAR took away that race from Daytona. Y'all didn't support it. You didn't watch it. You didn't show up. A lot of the things that NASCAR has bastardized are based on their fans and what they did. The money, the views, the counts. Now, they have a horrible on-track product. I don't know how anybody could love that. I say the only races worth ever watching are Bristol, Martinsville, Darlington, these real racetracks. Atlanta used to be one of those, but yeah, they destroyed Atlanta. A lot of people agree in that. But as far as NASCAR bastardizing everything else, I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's true. This clash in particular is definitely not true because y'all didn't give a fuck about the Budweiser shootout. You didn't watch it. You didn't go to the track. So they had to do something with the event to create some kind of buzz. Maybe the LA Coliseum wasn't the best idea. Obviously, it wasn't as successful as they hoped. So they moved it to Bowman Gray, and they're going to have Tim Brown and Burt Myers, who are locals, racing those guys at one of the most historic, legendary facilities in racing history. I don't know why you are saying screw that idea. That's a good idea. I think NASCAR is overrated. I do too. I've been bitching about that for 6 years. But the people within the industry live on a trickle-down effect, so that never will change, apparently. I don't think Bryson is racing at Volusia this weekend. Who cares? Y'all keep following Kaylee Bryson's and wondering where Taylor Reimer's at. I'm not chasing the decent-looking girl who drives cars. Y'all sound like a bunch of Danica Patrick fan rejects. I don't understand it. Why y'all would care if these people show up. I'm there for the best racers. That's why I'm going to Florida, risking my life, technically. Ready to sleep in a car. I got a pillow and a seat back there. 400 almost 50,000 miles on my car. Yeah, I think there's great talent down there, but I ain't doing that for Kaylee Bryson's and Taylor Reimers. I'm doing that for great race cars. Might do it for Paige Poliak. She's a good driver. She's an elite level driver. These other people, they ain't shown to be elite to me. That's why I don't usually pay attention to them. I don't know why y'all do, although I think I know why y'all do. But I don't pay attention to Instagram photos, okay? Or accidental Snapchat stories. I know some people know what I'm talking about. NASCAR did it to themselves. When the clash moved from Sunday afternoon to Saturday night. Okay. Because they were at Volusia, New Smyrna. Which I might go to that track too. We'll see. All the old sprint car fans love these pieces of asses, Chaz. I know, it's kind of creepy. It's kind of creepy. It's kind of disgusting. Yeah, why they would. Marty McFly's in here. Johnny B. Good is in the house. We are almost to Nashville. We are almost to Nashville, ladies and gentlemen. Johnny B. Good. Go, Johnny, go, go, go. Johnny B. Good. Oh, are we going to start singing down the road? NASCAR sucking is more about the cars than the drivers. No, if they had good drivers in there, they fucked up the cars too because they ain't got no good drivers. They made the cars easy to drive because they were going after these rich kids who can't fucking drive, and they needed to put them in cars that they could succeed in. They couldn't drive. Half the fucking Cup field couldn't even drive a Gen 4. But those Gen 4 cars didn't make non-talented drivers look good. So they made a car that non-talented drivers who have a bunch of money could drive and perform well in. They removed the drivers from the car, in essence. But you get them on a short track, you never know. Bowman Gray is on the radar, doing a video with Macri. Well, I can't talk about rich kids, and talk about Anthony Macri, right? Although he's a rich kid who has talent. There are some rich kids who have an extreme amount of talent. Anthony Macri potentially is one of those. But, regardless, floor it, baby. Floor it to Bowman Gray or to Florida? That's the question, guys. That's the question we're trying to figure out right now. Bowman Gray or Florida? What are we doing? Bowman Gray or Florida, guys? We got to know what we're doing. Help it. Floor it to Bowman. Deskovich, if you want me to go to Bowman, you got to put some money in the PayPal or Venmo. We need some cash to go to Bowman. It's off the radar. It's going to cost $100 or so more to do. I'm trying to budget myself for weeks here, okay? I'm trying to budget myself for weeks here. Brenham Crouch has talent. Well, what is the judge of talent? This is the problem. What's really good talent? What's really bad talent? Tim Tebow had talent. I mean, Cam Newton had talent. right? Really good talent. DeMarcus Russell had talent. These guys have talent. All the college football players have talent, but there's only 50 or 60 or whatever, 200 going into the draft to the NFL. A bunch of people have talent. What's the judge for high or low level talent? What is it? I hear Bowman Gray is planning an ice sting to snatch up Daniel Suarez. That's fucking hilarious. That is comedic gold right there. But no, we're almost having to make a gas stop, ladies and gentlemen, and we're almost to the pivot point. Deskovich, you are going to have to light up the PayPal and Venmo if you want me to go to Bowman Gray. I'm sorry. I can't make that turn right now. Oh, we're almost in a wreck. Oh, what the hell's up with that lane right there, man? That's stupid. There was a lane that looked like an exit lane, but then it turned back into lane, and now we're taking the exit lane. This is stupid. This is stupid. How did they just do that? Why would they make that? I don't understand what I just experienced. Tax dollars, ladies and gentlemen, all these roads, all this everything we paid for. We gave all of our money through taxes to these people who are so much smarter than us to decide on where to spend it. And they spent it on that fucking thing. They spent it on that. An exit lane that then went back into the highway that then exited. But government's tied in with the insurance companies. Oh, they got to have people wreck and crash to be able to have insurance be successful. If no one ever crashes, if nothing bad ever happens, insurance is useless. Insurance works on fear. Head east. Stop in Asheville, document the devastation before heading to the stadium. What are you talking about? You got to tell me. You got to give me more information on devastation. Asheville, North Carolina, is that where the hurricanes blew everything up? Is that like the city that is still destroyed? Tell me. We're about to have to cut the live off. I'm not doing a pit stop live. I'm not. This is not happening. I mean, I could fill up the gas and keep going. We could. Asheville, North Carolina. I mean, I'm down for it. I don't know. They may have the roads blocked off, you know, so regular people can't go find out what happened. Mudslide. Is it still happening? Like, everything's cool. Like, I ain't going to go there and get slid into the water myself, am I? That is true, though. That does intrigue me. We're behind a truck from Minnesota. Damn. Interesting. We're here trying to get gas, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all want to keep holding me up? The hell. Asheville. Another hurricane is going towards Florida. Are you sure about that? So we're making the call. Bowman Gray, huh? Bowman Gray. Our first race of the year was dirt, ladies and gentlemen. It was dirt. Oh, I had to adjust the old chompers here. South of Asheville had wildfires this week. Okay. So that's where we need to go. Asheville, North Carolina. Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Well, thanks for tuning in. I guess we are going to make the call and head towards Bowman Gray's direction before heading down to the dirt racing in Florida. But how much is gas? Here it is $2.69. In Illinois, it was $3.20s. So the Madhouse. Yes, we're making the call to go to the Madhouse, ladies and gentlemen. We're doing it. We're watching history be made. That's what we're going to do. It isn't the inauguration. It's local race car drivers getting a shot to whoop NASCAR drivers' ass. You just risk your life to go to a NASCAR race. Damn. I'm not looking at it that nearsighted. It's on the way, technically. It's just a small-ish detour. and it's history. I mean, what am I going to go see? I mean, late models Alltech is very respectful. I'll definitely be watching that, paying attention to it. But 360s at Volusia? Look at Slider Die trying to gaslight me. Look at Slider Die gaslighting me. But we will do this Asheville, Ohio detour. We will be doing that. Go visit Gavin Newsom. He's in California. USAC at Volusia with the late models will be awesome. Yeah, if that was a decision, if it was late models and USAC at Volusia versus NASCAR Bowman Gray, then okay, I would have to stay the course. But it's not. It's not, ladies and gentlemen. Anyways, we're going to cut the live here. I'm going to get some gas. We're going to get back on the road. I had to make a decision. I wanted to ask y'all, and it seems like everybody's saying go to the Madhouse. Links in the description, Venmo and PayPal, if you want to make it easier to be done. I mean, we're going to take a bit of a hit. We're probably going to have to open up a line of credit or something. But we will see about doing this. Somebody said they're an hour from Bowman Gray. If you have somewhere to $100 if you find an interview a black guy, that would be funny. There's probably going to be plenty of diversity at NASCAR events. It's very respectable. Although there was a black guy interviewed at Volusia that works the restroom and custodian areas of the Volusia Speedway Park, which he's a very nice guy. But I'm sure there's going to be people watching and attending the NASCAR race. So we'll diverse the trip up. We'll start the trip off with some diversity. How about that? We'll go to NASCAR. Give credit where credit is due. And yeah, if y'all got a place to crash like Ken Joseph, y'all let me know, because now we're in trouble. Now we got to buy a hotel. Now we got to figure out how we're going to pay for we're probably going to have to fucking Uber in Nashville is what we're going to have to do. But if y'all want to jump on board like Geetrich has, like Velocity USA has here recently, Prime Composite Innovations, many, many others, go ahead and do that. Links in the description. If you do want to be a logo on the video or anything, put in the description of your PayPal payment or Venmo payment what logos or anything you want to include, and we will get you involved with the show. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, the call's been made. The journey is now here. First stop, Asheville, North Carolina. We'll see if we can get there before the sun goes down. You need a tan more than you need NASCAR. I know, I need to take this fucking hoodie off. That's what I'm about to do. It's warm. I'm out of the damn freezer, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe. If we get to Asheville before the end of the day, we're going to be going live from Asheville, North Carolina. So y'all be ready. Handlebar mustache, Diddy is missing. Oh, shit. Although these Geetrich glasses, they make me look nice. Call Biffle. I don't have these NASCAR people's names and numbers. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. We will catch y'all next time. I might text Jeremy Mayfield. We'll see if we can do that show. Oh, shit.